Hello everyone, the 316, Lego Maniac 316 here, and today I am going to be turning this recent Speed Champions NASCAR Camaro set into a stock Camaro, or rather, Bumblebee. Camaro is my favorite car. Doesn't really matter what type of Camaro, as long as it's a Camaro, it's my favorite car. And I wanted to have an 8-wide Speed Champions Camaro for the longest time. I have the 6-wide one, the blue one. That was also a ZL1. But I wanted a solid color non-NASCAR Camaro. Ideally, Bumblebee from Transformers. But Lego hasn't done that yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to give him the stripes, the whole 9 yards. But we have the set here on the left, and I have an extra set here on the right. And I have some parts off screen, but can't wait to get into this build. If you want to follow along with me, you can. I'm just going to chime in and out here to show you the build process, the stickers, etc. There's quite a lot you need to change, but it shouldn't be too bad. Mostly just changing out the purple, the teal, and some of the black pieces like here, this slope here, and also this 2x2. But otherwise, it shouldn't be too hard, but I will chime in when I need to. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a few. Alright, so the first change I decided to make, you don't have to do this, but this is optional. So as you can see, here you are adding the roll cage and the nitrous, I guess, elements, but instead we're actually going to make 2 seat builds. So basically, just make this seat build, but on the opposite side as well. So that's change number 1. And here's what that would look like. I am still waiting on one more bricklink order for that 2x2 piece, but that just gives you an idea on if you want to do 2 seats or not. And you can easily fit 2 different minifigures in here. There is, oop, he just fell. There is enough clearance to fit 2 in there, arms-wise, as you can see. Although you might have to fiddle with the arm by the gear shift, but otherwise you can easily fit 2 characters or minifigures in there. You're eventually going to get to step 20 in the building instructions. Now, this next part is completely optional, but I am going to be adding some stripes to the front of my Camaro. So you're basically going to build this pretty much the same, except you can see that this has these 2 pieces side by side. Instead, you're going to want to put that in the middle there, and then you're going to want to get your 1x1 black plates there, as you can see, and then you're going to either want to get a 1x2, a 1x1, and a 1x1 flat. What basically, as long as these parts are black, really it doesn't matter what these 2 parts are. I'm just going to make them all tiled. But there you go. So the rest of the building instructions are going to be pretty much the same. Add these on, and from there, just keep building as you would normally. Alright, so back 2 is pretty straightforward, but there are a couple things that I want to point out. So color swap wise, you want to swap out the wheel wells here, these 2x2s, as well as these cheese slopes. All of those come in black, and you want to swap those to the bright light orange. Also, if you're not doing the stripes, you're going to want to swap out the 2x3s in the bright light orange as well. I haven't seen if they actually make that in that color, but I'm pretty sure they do. Pretty sure I have that piece somewhere. But anyway, just stay tuned, and I'll keep you along with the build process. Alright, so you're going to get to steps 37 and 38. The thing here is what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to cut the sticker here. So you want sticker 25 and 26, and you just want to cut off the little bit of red there. So just cut that off, and then this is what that would look like. As you can see, we just have the, I guess, vent there on the side. And as you can see, there's where the 2x2 went. And you also don't want to add that sticker on these 2 wide cheese slopes. So that's for steps 37 and 38. You're eventually going to get to step 40. That's when you add the printed headlights, and this is an extra step that I'm doing, but I actually took the sticker here from sticker 24 and 21, and I cut off the black and like fuchsia color, and I basically stuck it on the piece while this was still on, like so. and then I took the piece off, left the sticker on, and then cut off that little sliver there just so that I could have a little bit more yellow in the Camaro. But again, this is not a step that you have to do. This is just a step I'm going to do. Alright, so this is the optional step that you can take for step 41 if you want to add the stripes. If you don't, just follow it along and replace these 2x3 black with the 2x3 bright light orange instead. I had noticed I just fell over, but here's how we're going to build the top. If you want the stripes, you are going to need 2 of these quarter round tiles, 2 1x2 in bright light orange, and 2 in black. So not too many pieces to add here if you want the stripes, but here's how you're going to want to do it. So we'll get this out of the way. You're looking at me. So we're going to go ahead and take these corner macaroni pieces, as I like to call them. Where did that one just go? There it is. Going to add those, and then we're going to add these like so. Half quarter rounds, I guess. Half rounds? I don't know. And then you got this weird looking piece that I like. Stick that there, there, and then that's where you get your quarter rounds and your 1x2s in the bright light orange. And then you're going to want to add your black 1x2s there. Oop, forgot the 2x2 in bright light orange as well. I knew I was forgetting a piece there. But that's if you want to add the stripes. If you don't want to add the stripes, just skip to the next section. Alright, so for bag 3, there's really not too much here that you want to change out. But these 2x6s in purple, you want to change those out for bright light orange. And you want to change out all of the 1x2 cheese slopes into that bright light orange as well. There's 4 purple, 2 black. You're also you're going to want to add 2 1x1 plates of any type. It could be a stud, it could be a flower. The color doesn't matter. You just need 2 of those. You could also add some side mirrors to the car, which I don't have the parts for those right now, but I am going to substitute them, and you'll see what I mean. So, roll footage. So if you want to do the side mirrors, all you're going to need is 3 other parts. You're going to want a cheese slope there, just a 1x1 cheese slope, and then you're going to want a bracket piece, an underneath bracket piece, and one of these quarter round tiles, and that just goes on both sides like that. So if you want to do that, you can, and if you want to make it more accurate, just put it in this, put this color in bright light orange. So if you want to do the side mirrors, you can. Up to you. Again, completely optional. You can have it clean, or you can add the mirrors. Now, this next step is technically optional. It just depends on if the 1x1 bracket with 2 studs going upward is available in the color you're trying to rebuild this into. It's not available for the bright light orange. We're actually going to be using a different bracket piece, just the single one, so we actually have to modify the set for that. So you're going to get to step 62, and instead of putting these pieces on this brick, we're actually going to put a 1x1 on top of these pieces, and then we are going to set them aside. We don't want to actually put them in the build just yet. You're going to see why. So so 62, just build it as normal, but these very light blue pieces, we're going to put the 1x1, whatever color you want, on top, and just set those aside. Continue the build as normal. Alright, so bag 4 is where you're going to do most of the part swapping. There's a lot here, and I'm not going to go over every piece, but there's a couple I want to go over. So here are all the parts that you want to swap out. Don't pay attention to the right side, just pay attention to the left side here. This is every part that you want to swap out in bag 4. And if you notice, I don't have all of the parts necessary on the right there. Like I said, I'm waiting on a bricklink order or 2, but I want to point out a few things. These bracket pieces, you don't have to swap out. I did order them, but I'm just going to be using these while I build along. I will swap them out when I get them. These pieces over here, apparently they're not made in bright light orange, so instead you're going to want to get these bracket pieces. The way you build with them, though, you can only use 2 in this set, and for the other build you're going to have to use 2 of these. Well, when we get there I will show you why. It's not in this build, or rather not in this bag, it's in the last bag, bag 5, but those pieces you're definitely going to want to swap out, and I'm going to show you why. And of course you want to have your 2 pieces from the prior bag if you do not own, or rather if the color is not made in this too tall bracket. As you can see, it's not made in this color, so I had to go with the 1 wide. I'll show you when we get there. Again, it's actually the first step of bag 4, but anyway, if you did add a second seat, you are going to need one of these brackets and another 1x1 in that gray color, but you know, Lego, they come with extra pieces all the time, and this set does come with an extra one of those, so you don't need to order that. But that, I believe that covers everything. If I missed anything, I'll show you when I'm building. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, so step 70, the very first step in bag 4, it's going to ask you to make 2 of these. Now, the bright light orange is not made in that bracket piece, as you can see, so we have to get a little creative. So using the pieces that we had from the prior bag, we're going to attach a small bracket to that, as you can see. So instead of attaching this assembly to that, we're going to just attach it directly like so. And then you're going to get this 1x6 piece here, and you're going to want to attach those just like that. And then on the car here, you're going to want to just slide that assembly down. And if you notice, the bracket here doesn't actually line up with the bottom. That's because we're technically cheating with this build. So it doesn't attach in, it's not causing any stress to the piece. So it really is just there to complete the look. You know, you could change that color to black if you wanted some like handles to open the door, but because of where it's placed, it doesn't really look like a handle. But yeah, so if you're making you know, Bumblebee here like I am, you're just going to want to swap that bracket in and do that build as I just showed you. Pretty simple, not too hard. So let's continue on. Alright, so step 75 here, the only thing you want to do is not include that yellow bracket piece here. So do not add this piece to the build. You can just neglect it. And as I said, I am missing the bracket pieces in this color, so I'm just going to use these for the build as we're building along. So that's all you want to do, just have it look like this. Alright, so this part is only if you added the second seat. So step 78 is going to ask you to add this little tooth piece. Instead, just use another black 1x1 stud. That's all you got to do. Alright, so step 80, as you can see here, adds a 1x3. But if you added the extra seat here, you actually want to go ahead and put in a 1x2. I don't have any on standby, but I do have some 1x1s here. And yeah, that's that. So there's that step for you. Alright, so step 86 here. This is what step 86 looks like. It says to add 3 of these pieces. But if you don't have that in that color that you need, instead you're going to want to use 2 of these pieces. You're going to want to put the ones with that little notch in the middle there. And then you're going to want to use these 2 in this orientation. This should work, but I might amend the building instructions to use something else instead, but there's that for you. Alright, so the final bag here, bag 5, this is, you know, where the rest of your parts that you wanted to swap out would go into. So what I'm only going to show off 2 parts here because, you know, the rest is pretty self-explanatory, but this piece here in teal has not been made in bright light orange, but the single version has been. So instead of 2 of those, you're going to want an extra 4 of those. And this teal part is a pretty brand new part, doesn't come in too many colors, but this piece has been made in bright light orange, and they're, you know, practically the same shape. You know, the only difference is one of them has grills, one of them does not have grills. And the good thing about this is that because of the way this is built, you're not going to see those grills unless you're looking at the bottom of the car. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the build, and you know, if there's any problems, I'll let you guys know on the way. Okay, so you know how I said you need those specific bracket pieces? Well, you don't actually want these. Instead, what you want to do is you want to have one of these cheese slopes and then another 1x2, and you're just going to want to stick that in the middle there. As you can see, just stick that in the middle and have that instead, because otherwise you're not going to have enough clearance for the back piece and it's going to stress the bricks out, and you don't want that. So just use that 1x2 cheese slope and a 1x2 instead. So continuing on with the build. Step 103 asks you to add on all of these stickers. So there's just one problem with that. All of them are done in the teal color. So what does that mean? You're going to have to cut the stickers out. So yeah, I'll be back. Alright, so a quick amendment to the build here. So remember how I was saying to use those bracket pieces? Yeah, just don't use them. This looks much better. Just use some of those cheese slopes, and obviously I'm going for the stripes, so I used, you know, some singles. But if you want to just make this all flush, just make this, you know, a 1x6 or 3 1x2s, and then have 3 1x2 of the slope piece there. So that's the amendment on that. With the side mirrors here, I decided to actually add an extra plate there, and I put the the quarter rounds going outward like that. Also, in the build, there was this clip piece used where this black slope is. I just added the black slope. So that's the you know, amendment there that I would do instead of what I showed in the build process. Alright, it's time for the reveal. I got in my last Bricklink order with the parts I needed, and you're about to see the completed custom rebuild. Here it is. Ugh, I'm so happy with how this turned out. This is exactly the Lego set that I wish that they made. I much prefer an actual Bumblebee one. I mean, they got a working relationship with Hasbro. They got a working relationship with Chevy. You know, just come on, it's time. Just give me Bumblebee, damn it. Anyway. So, of course, this is the set on the left, and this is the custom rebuild on the right. I'm going to go ahead and move myself out of the way here, and I'll show you the differences between these. So the front here, if you notice, I actually added stickers by the front lights here. These stickers are from the set, and I'll show you how I did those. So, as you can see on 26 and 25, I cut them each so that you can kind of see this top one. You can just cut it out like that, no problem. This longer sticker, I used piece 24 and 21, and I basically just cut off the pink and the black color, and I was able to just fit it in there. It definitely helps add to the look here, because with this one, it's just a black line, or it's just a full black line across, which, you know, looks fine for this car, but for this one, you know, you're going for a solid color, and I feel that you do need those stickers in there for this to look better, and I definitely think it looks better. You'll also notice I cut off those little red bits on the front there, so those are no longer there. Obviously, the prints are still there. On the top, you can see how I did that. Pretty easy to do. So instead of having, you know, these two parts in yellow, I continued the stripe look with you know, the flat 1x1 and the 1x1 plate in there. Pretty easy to do that. Most people should have those parts regardless. On the inside here, you'll see that, you know, I do have 2 seats now, which is nice. Instead of putting a clip there, I did put that 1x1 cheese slope in there. You can remove this red piece, but I kind of just like it for a change of color. But everything else is pretty much the same in there, besides, no longer a roll cage, but a seat. The windshields here, I decided not to put the Camaro sticker on, but if you want to see what that looks like, there's what that looks like. Personally, I think that just looks a little tacky, and it's not really something that I like for mine, but now that I have 2 of these sets, I have the option, if I wanted to display it that way, that I could. So there's that option. You'll also notice I added some stripes up top on the roof there. All that was some like a packing sticker that's usually used for labels. I just cut that up, painted it black with a Sharpie, cut it out to the approximate size, and I think that turned out great. I think that this 1x6 piece turned out a little bit better than the 2x6. I definitely think that these are a little too thick, but it continues the look of the stripes all the way to the back, and I just think that it helps add to the look, because without those, it looked a little weird. The back of the car here, you'll see, instead of using those, let me see if I have the piece on hand here. One of these pieces, I just used some cheese slips. Cheese slips. Yeah, there's 6 of them there. You only need 4, and then the double wide, but I needed the double wide for something else. So I did try to put a black 1x1 there, but because of how this is built with that headlight brick in the corner there, you can't really put a cheese slip there easily. So if anyone knows a good way to do that, maybe a 1x3 piece, but again, I'm not sure how that would work. It's just something that I'll have to figure out on my own, but for now it's fine as is. The sides of the car here, as you can see, it just went from being this hodgepodge of colors to being all that bright light orange color, which one of my favorite Lego colors. It's just a really nice color. And you're probably wondering why I kept these brackets black as well as the front bottom here. Well, pretty much every car I've seen of this, or picture of this car I've seen, has had that black trim around the bottom, as you can see on this little Hot Wheel car. But if you go online and look at pictures of those, you will notice that it does have that black undercarriage. So I decided to keep that in. If you want to, you can change it out. Those pieces are available in that color. At least this bracket is, the single bracket. Pretty sure the double bracket is too, but yeah, really happy with how this bracket turned out. I showed you how to compensate for that. However, if you don't want to do that, you could always just get a black bracket and put that there, but I think having it be the solid color just makes it look a little bit better. One thing I'd really like to do is add like a door handle right in this region, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. The only thing I can think of is going into the parts bin here, all these extra parts you get from the set that you don't use. Stupid. The only thing I can think to do is, pop that off, put that on, but I just think it comes out too far, so it doesn't look as good. And, if I added another one of these brackets to the bottom here, I think that would have the same issue with it. I just don't think that looks good either. So I would probably have to do a print, and I don't know if there's any prints that are on these cheese slips that look good. I could also try like a 2x4 and then one of the L-shaped tiles and then put something there, but again, not sure. And then finally, moving on to the back of the car here, you see that I was able to cut the stickers out. I think I could have done a better job, but for what I was, I think I did good. I think I did good with the stickers. I could, like I said, could have placed them a little bit better. Mostly the tail lights, those were kind of difficult to place appropriately, but I think, again, I did a good job for, not getting any custom printed stickers. And oddly enough, it kind of makes the tail light stickers look darker. I kind of like that. I do kind of like how this looks brighter, this looks a little darker. They're definitely not. They're the same exact sticker. It's just a cool little optical illusion. You know, bottom of the car is pretty much the same besides the change in color there, but yes, I am very happy with how this turned out, and we can go ahead and do some comparisons with this car here. So starting off with the not ZL1, the Aston Martin 007 edition. Like how these look together. They look nice. Just gives you an idea. Scale-wise, it's probably off, but oh well. We have here the Dodge Charger Fast and Furious edition. Family. Gives you an idea. Again, size probably off, but I think these two look good together as well. And finally, the other car that I wish they'd do a different version of, we have the Mustang Dark Horse. I'd like a GT Mustang personally, but I like how these two look together. Again, there's the front, sides, and the back. One other thing you could do, if you really want to, you could actually swap out these and, you know, put like one of those on there, but I think just having it be the Camaro is fine enough, and it matches the rest of the car as well. Before I go, a couple things. One, the cost of this entire rebuild, depending on what you want to do with it, if you want stripes, if you don't want the side view mirrors, you know, I obviously got the set itself because it comes with most of the parts we need. This set was $27, and overall, with all the Bricklink orders I made, it was another $65 on top of that. So you're looking at like $92, give or take. Just depends on how many Bricklink orders you needed to do. I kind of messed up and had to do 5 separate Bricklink orders, and you know, I still need this 3x3 in black, but for right now, I don't mind it being the printed element. But also, one of the Bricklink sellers decided to draw me a Camaro on the shipping package. They didn't have to do that. I really appreciate it, and you did a good job. If you want to review yourself in the comments, go ahead, but I won't in this video. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this look at the Camaro rebuild that I wanted to do. I hope that the instructions were helpful. I am going to be working on the full parts list that you're going to need and putting that in the description below. So if you want to make this rebuild yourself, you can. I think that covers everything. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you going to be making this? Red, blue, yellow? What color, if any? Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel. And as always, peace.